I used to think weed was helping me. It made me feel normal. You know, having ADHD, being a neurodiverse human or whatever, I never felt normal. My brain, I was always anxious. It was always moving too fast. And like, I just felt different than everybody. And I felt like when I started smoking weed with friends and I was feeling more accepted, I felt like I finally fit in. I felt like I was finally normal. But in reality, I was trying to escape myself because I didn't like who I was. I smoked weed every day for 20 years. I started when I was 13 and I am 33 now, and today is day 33 no weed. I honestly thought I couldn't live without it, but that was a lie that my reptilian addiction ADHD brain was telling me. This video is for anyone who feels like they need weed to feel normal, but deep down they know it's holding them back. It's attached to regret. It's attached to negative self-talk, guys. I always say that regret is your guideline. Regret's not a choice. If I didn't regret smoking weed, I'd probably still be smoking weed, but for some reason, I regret it, and I know that regret is my guideline. Success is a removal process, guys. Being the best version of yourself is a removal process. A lot of people are trying to be like, how do I become the best version of myself? It's not about doing more things. It's about doing less things. It's not about what you do. It's about what you don't do. When I discovered weed, I was like, this is it for me. This is going to be a big part of my life because it finally made me feel normal. It finally made me feel accepted. I felt like when I was, in a group with friends and we're all getting high together, I finally felt like one of them. I was like, we're all experiencing this together. This is normal. I like this feeling. This is like we're bonding, and like I feel normal. My brain is slowing down, and weed just kind of made me feel calm, accepted, and normal. I smoked weed before everything. Before going on dates, before eating, before drinking, before sleeping, before waking up. Before I'd smoked weed before I did everything. Before going to school. Like literally everything. Before brushing my teeth. Before tying my shoe. Before picking my nose. I smoked weed before I did that shit. Maybe I'm tripping or maybe I'm not tripping, but it did help me feel like it was helping me slow down my racing thoughts a little bit, help me fit in, help me escape my reality. But I learned that that was quite the opposite of what was happening. The truth is, when I was doing that, I was running from myself. I was running from the true answers, and I was numbing myself instead of trying to understand my ADHD brain. And guys, I did some research before this video, and actually, people with ADHD or neurodiverse people, even people with autism, are 3 times more likely to use marijuana and have it become habit-forming or an addiction. I'm going to put the study maybe in the description or pop it up right here. But this is a real study that they did. And they showed that people with ADHD are 3 times more likely to use weed and become dependent. Why I started to quit? Because it was helping me, guys. But the thing is, as I mentioned before, it was attached to regret. I was regretting it. And I was only regretting it because I was becoming a less shittier version of me. I wasn't regretting it when I was a loser, because back in the day when I was hanging out with these friends and doing loser shit, when I was a loser, I didn't regret it. But when I started to work on my fitness journey more, when I started to actually figure out how to study and comprehend things that I learned more, when I started to retain more information, when I started to work on my mindset, my self-worth, my self-talk, I started to regret things that I normally didn't regret in the past because I was changing who I was. I was becoming a different person. The person previously, when I was a loser, addict, piece of shit, did not feel regret around things that I now today feel regret toward. And people with ADHD make great entrepreneurs because I'm not well at following directions or listening to people. I wanted to start my own business, and I eventually did. And I don't think I would have been able to do it if I was constantly smoking weed all the time. And I was trying to run my own business and shit. And I've heard from so many mentors that that help you with strategy, that it's not how, it's who. Everyone's trying to figure out how to do something, how to get the perfect strategy to be successful, but it's really not how to do something, it's who can do it. And the version of me that's not smoking pot is much more capable. The reason why I quit was a multitude of reasons. It's because I love myself, I want the best for myself, I feel like weed is actually bad for you. like actually physically bad for you, like inhaling tar and smoke into your lungs. It's damaging your heart, your valves, your blood flow, your brain. It fucks up your skin. Marijuana is objectively bad for you, guys. I mentioned this in my last video, the law of exposure. Once you're exposed to the truth, you can never be unexposed. I had the subjective truth, meaning my opinion, subjective truth. I had the subjective truth that marijuana was helping me, was benefiting with me, was making me feel normal. That was my subjective truth. But until I talked to actual professionals and did my own research, I discovered the objective facts is that marijuana is not helping me and is actually making you worse objectively every time you use it. And as I was trying to become a better version of myself, it was in my head like, do I want to be a fucking loser pothead, or do I want to be a badass online fitness coach and help change millions of people's lives? I don't think I'm going to be able to make the impact that I need to make when I was a lower version of myself. Guys, if you're trying to change people's lives, you're not going to be able to do that until you change your life. Guys, that weed was making everything harder long term. Like my focus, my anxiety, my motivation, my sleep, my health, my energy, everything was getting progressively worse after using marijuana long term. I mean, marijuana is not the worst drug, of course, but I mean, for me personally, I'm not saying it's a gateway drug for everybody, but for me personally it was, because it was the first drug I started to use. Then I got into pills and alcohol, and I fucking ruined my life. I totaled 2 cars, and I fucking had to go to inpatient rehab for Oxycontin, and I started, like, there's a lot, guys. And weed kind of started that for me. And I was just like, wow, I like drugs. Drugs help me feel normal, because my brain's like, like, that's how I actually am in real life. But so when I do drugs, I'm like, oh, I'm like a normal person now. So, guys, weed, I do agree to some certain extent that weed can help in isolation in some moments, but it becomes, people like us become dependent on it, and when we use it year after year, daily use, year after year, decade after decade, like me, it's fucking you up. So I started quitting, guys, and the main thing I was worried about when I first quit was my sleep. Like, I was just like, fuck, if I could just, I'm just worried that I won't be able to sleep. If I can just get to sleep this one night, I'll feel like I have it in the bag. So the first night that I stopped smoking weed was the most difficult. I stayed up probably 3 or 4 hours normally than I could, because I wasn't getting tired, because I used weed to help me get tired. I would get so stoned that night that I'd be just fucking comatose, borderline blacked out. I would just smoke the majority of my weed at night before bed just to get me fucking stoned as fuck, and it would help me crash. Doing my business and working a lot on the computer until I'm fucking drained and exhausted, and that's what helps me go to sleep now. After that first day that I was worried about not being able to go to sleep, after I fell asleep that first day, the second day got a little bit easier, the third day got even easier, and I was like, okay, the sleep was my biggest worry. Now I feel like I have it in the bag, and I kind of do. It's day 33, we're going strong, let's go. If you want to quit, you have to first identify why you want to quit. It's got to be a deep reason why. Because, you know, the reason why you need to discover why, because everybody, like, I feel like a lot of people watching this probably have, like, the regret or the negative self-talk or the shame around constantly using it, and they know it's kind of holding them back. But that's not deep enough to actually quit for good if that's what you're trying to do. For me, I'm trying to quit for good. I'm an all-or-nothing type of dude. I wish I could be the guy that, you know, just occasionally smokes, occasionally drinks. No, I'm an addict. It's all or nothing. I'm not even that disciplined, guys. Like, the reason why I'm getting results in life is because I just give myself no choice, no option. If I had crumble cookies in my house, I would eat them all. If I had a bunch of junk food in my house all the time, I would already be fat. If I had cigarettes and weed in arm's reach, I would be smoking them. But I don't keep them around, guys. I don't give myself a choice. So, back to the reason why, you guys really need to understand why you want to do this, okay? A deep reason why. Because, you know, that first day, you got it on lock. That second day, you got it on lock. Day 3, you're getting some cravings. Day 4, you know, I don't know. I kind of feel like I could probably take a hit. Day 5, believe me, your ADHD, anxiety-riddled, addicted reptilian brain is going to convince you, justify you taking another hit. And if you don't have that deep reason why to be reminded, then you're going to take another hit and you're going to feel regret. So guys, right now, you need to pause this video or something and think about the reason why you want to quit deep. If you could check out my videos before, I did a couple trainings to help you guys, and I had you guys write down 12 reasons why you want to quit and 12 reasons why you want to keep using, and you find contradictions in those reasons, and then your logical, common sense brain starts to realize, like, wow, I'm just been fucking sabotaging, like, the weed is not helping me, it's actually making me worse. The thing is, guys, but even though I'll give you guys 12 reasons, there should be a couple, like one or two, like super strong reasons why. It's like, I want to be successful. I want to retire my mom. I want to be the best version I can be, and I don't want to carry around regret and shame anymore. There's got to be a deep reason that really resonates with you so you can stay consistent with your sobriety. We're not super disciplined people, neurodiverse people. It's hard for us to build that discipline. So that's why you got to throw it all away. That's what I did. When the day I quit, I grabbed my bong, my vape, every weed paraphernalia that I had. I grabbed it all and literally threw it in the trash, and like not in my fucking kitchen trash. I fucking drove like a mile away and threw it in some random dumpster because I know I'm a fucking addict. If I feel like I want to use, I'm going to figure it out. And I'm sure I could go to the store and buy a joint and do that. But me doing what I did, driving far away, taking that action, was screaming at my subconscious how serious this is to me. And when I did that, and I had the urge on day 5 to want to use, all right guys, get distracted. Somebody text me, I'm still ADHD. So, what I was saying, guys, is I threw it all away, and my that action was yelling at my subconscious that I'm serious about this shit. Your subconscious is secretly recording and taking note to everything you fucking do, guys. Everything you do. You can't lie to your subconscious. It's absorbing everything. So if you take that massive action, your subconscious is like, wow, okay, you're actually fucking serious about this. So when I did that, and the urge came on day 5, it was very difficult. I was actually, believe it or not, guys, I was actually shifting through drawers, trying to find a little bud, trying to find something that I could inhale or eat even. So, but I didn't have it. I made sure that day that I threw away all the shit. I threw it away all. Because I know how much of an addict I am, that I would find a way to get high if it was around. And yeah, I'm sure I could drive to a store and do it, but I didn't, because that would be much more difficult. And for me, like just even driving to that store, my brain would be yelling at me. So throw it all away, guys. Give yourself no choice. Another thing, my people, is environment is key. Guys, environment is key. I used to be a fucking mess. In my car, in my house, in my room, everywhere was a fucking mess, and I was also a mess. You do one thing like you do everything. So if your place is a mess, your brain's going to be a mess. Your thought process will be a mess. Your anxiety will be a mess. So one of the first steps that I would like you guys to do is start to clean shit up. Start to clean your environment up. You're going to feel more organized when your environment's more organized. Environment is key. You need to curate an environment that is conducive to your sobriety. Like if everything is a mess, then it's going to be hard to not be a mess. When everything is clean and organized, it's going to be easier to stay clean and be organized. And guys, you got to change your habits, okay? For real, for real. The habits is the only thing that's going to change you. I truly believe the only thing that will change your life is your habits and self-talk. Because when I was an addict loser, I had such negative habits, such negative self-talk, and it was ruining my life. Now, I have such positive habits, such positive self-talk, and it's building my life. So, guys, what people with ADHD, neurodiverse people should start with is fitness. I know it sounds cliche, but it's just the easy, tangible way to be proud of yourself, to start to work on positive habits and start to cultivate positive self-talk. You're going to have to stay busy, guys. Because boredom is the killer, guys. I make sure that I'm never bored. I'm always doing something. Boredom leads to desire. Desire leads to vices, and vices leads to regret and shame leads to you fucking hating your life. So you need to stay busy, and you should stay busy with things that are progressing your life forward, not just like doom scrolling on social media, I appreciate you watching this content because this is screaming at your subconscious. When you consume content that's around your goals, around progressing, that's actually proactive. That's a good thing. So you should be staying busy with things that are good for you, keeping your place clean, on your fitness journey, going on walks, thinking about nutrition, maybe prepping your meals. Guys, you got to stay busy. Boredom is the actual killer. It all starts with being bored. Most times, it starts with being bored. When I was a kid, it was more starting with just wanting to feel normal and be accepted. But then as I got an adult, it became more and more habit forming, it was because I was bored all the time. The boredom, again, leads to desires. The desires lead to temptations and cravings, and those cravings, they lead to vices, and vices lead to you fucking and ruining your life, fucking it up, okay? So, also I want to get into a couple supplements that you guys can start taking, especially as the person with ADHD, trying to get off of the weed. L-tyrosine and L-tryptophan. These are amino acids that you could take that will help regulate serotonin and dopamine. But guys, as a coach, what I help my clients do is eat a high protein diet. If you eat a high protein diet, you will absorb these amino acids because they are in protein. But you're not going to get an efficacious dose of these if you're just eating a little bit of protein. You would actually have to eat a high protein diet. So just to give it a rundown for you, say you're 170 pounds and you're maybe 20% body fat, then you should be eating around 150 grams of protein, bare minimum, to get those amino acids. And it's kind of like creatine. The way creatine works is you have to take it every day to build up that saturation point. So if you're trying to get the benefit from these amino acids through protein, you have to eat a high protein diet every day for a few months to even get the benefit. But trust me guys, it's worth it because you're not only going to help regulate your dopamine and serotonin from eating a high protein diet, it's also going to help you get stronger, prevent injury, build more muscle, burn more fat, and having a high protein diet is great for everything, guys, especially with ADHD because of the amino acids L-tyrosine and tryptophan that are directly connected to serotonin and dopamine regulation. So that's my first tip to you guys. Start to prioritize protein. When I discovered this hack, it was mind-blowing to me. So hopefully this blows a few people's minds. Another thing you could take is NAC, N-A-C. NAC is another amino acid that also can help with cravings and mood disorders. This isn't like a game changer. And I'm not a doctor, guys. I am a licensed nutritionist, but I'm not a doctor. So you also maybe want to talk to your doctor about some of these changes you're making, but I'm sure your doctor's going to be like, yeah, let's whatever we can do to get you to stop smoking pot because that's not great for your health. It's not great for your brain, especially with ADHD. And for me personally, the only way that this worked for me is that I went all in on my fitness. All in. And I became an online fitness coach. I made it my life to help people with their fitness goals. And this was just helping me step into my power, guys. I truly believe, a lot of people might not say this, but I think the best way to actually stop it for good is to stack wins throughout the day. So if you wake up early, eat a nutritious breakfast, work on your mindset and self-talk, read something positive, do some cardio, eat another nutritious meal, go crush a workout, eat another nutritious meal, continue to have positive self-talk, you're stacking win after win after win after win after win after win. And at the end of the day, when the opportunity comes for you to potentially self-sabotage, for you to potentially get high, you're not even really going to want to because you're so fucking proud of yourself that day that you have this feeling like you're fucking unstoppable, that you don't want to ruin that. So again, when the opportunity comes, at the end of the day, after you stacked win after win after win, you're not even going to want to smoke. Because this is how I first kind of started. I was like, I'm just going to smoke at night, I'm just going to, because I was the problem. I was just like, wake up and smoke. And it would just fucking ruin my day. And my mom's still a stoner. She figured it out. She's not like she's not like an addict like I was, where I'm like, I don't understand moderation. So what I started to try to do at first was just smoke at night. And when I started, the process started for me to completely eliminate it when I realized that I was stacking win after win at night, win after win in the morning, midday, evening, and then when nighttime came and I had the opportunity to want to smoke, I didn't really want to that bad. I was just like, damn, I'm so proud of myself. I feel like I'm kind of ruining it. But I also was just like the type of person where like, I was the type of person where I was like, I wanted to quit in the back of my head, but I wasn't going to quit until I didn't have any left. I was just like, I need to smoke all this first, and I always was kept getting more to like, it was fucking crazy. Like, it's just pure addiction. Like, I was telling myself that I wasn't going to quit until I had none left, and then I could finally quit. But then I was constantly buying stuff, so I always had shit, and I was never completely out. That one day where I was just like, fuck it, I'm fed up, which was actually 33 days ago today. I had a bunch of shit. I had probably maybe $30 to $50 worth of stuff and resin. I mean, $30 to $50 worth of weed and bongs full of resin, and I had some hash and some edibles, and my vape, my pen, I threw it all away. I threw it all in the dump. So maybe some like homeless dude was like his lucky day when he went dumpster dive. I know I kind of go off on a tangent a lot, but I'm saying, guys, you got to get on your fitness journey, and you got to go hard. You got to get results, because results make you proud. If you're going to get consistent on your fitness journey without seeing results, I would probably be smoking, guys. So if you need help getting results, hit me up. If you already started your process, like, you need to get your nutrition on lock. You need to get your sleep on lock. You need to start fixating on the things that are going to progress you forward, make you results, and help you reach your goals, okay? Positive dopamine, guys. We can actually get as much dopamine from positive shit than compared to negative shit. I mean, I was getting a lot of dopamine from negative shit, but I'm getting even more dopamine from like looking in the mirror and be like, damn, I'm proud of that shit. I'm getting even more dopamine from like helping my clients change their lives. I'm getting even more dopamine because my self-talk is so affirming and empowering because of the work I've done. One of my favorite quotes is, the work instills the worth. My whole life I was doing shitty work, and I fucking was a piece of shit. And that's because I was a habitual construct. And now, for years, I've been doing positive things, but I was constantly always had that weed in the back, which was just kind of like holding me back. And I feel like once I finally let go of that weed, results just started coming in crazy. Lately, I'm getting leaner, I'm getting stronger, and I haven't changed anything with my diet. I haven't changed anything with my workouts. It's just the marijuana. I stopped smoking weed. This might not be evident, but I believe that because I stopped smoking weed, my body is dealing with not having to deal with that inflammation of me smoking and inhaling tar, and it's able to deal with other inflammation like helping me repair and build more muscle. I've been using the outside light, but I've been talking so long and it's getting kind of dark, so I had to bring a light here for you guys. Hopefully you guys can see me okay, but yeah, I think the weed's helping me build more muscle and burn more fat, just indirectly, because my body has more of its little workers inside of me focusing on things like that are helping me build muscle and burn fat, instead of like worrying about like the smoke and the inflammation from me fucking taking fat bong hits all the time. Hey, but that's not, I'm speculating. I'm just speculating. It also could be like I'm gaining more confidence, I'm gaining more clarity, I'm more intentional with my workouts, I'm more present inside my repetitions, and I'm just better all around. Guys, success is a removal process. I think I said this in the beginning, but everyone's like, all right, what do I need to do to become the best version of myself? No, it's what you don't do. It's what you don't need to do. You need to stop doing all that bullshit. We are already badasses, guys. We're already very conscious, high-level beings. But we do shit that fucking dampens our light. We do shit that makes us worse, that lessens our being. I can't even articulate what I'm saying, but I'm saying that, guys, that it's not about what you do, it's about what you don't do. Once you stop doing things you regret and you start doing things you're proud of, you just start becoming the best version of yourself very quickly. The people that you're around is a big thing too. All my friends are losers. And any of you guys watching this, my old friends, I hope you change your life. But all of them still live with their parents, still smoking pot every day, still working dead-end jobs. Like, they're all losers. Guys, if you're going to hang around your losers' friends, you got to realize that you're going to be a loser friend. Like, there is a massive power in proximity. That's why a community like I have with my group and my clients, we all are very positive, working towards our goals, and there's a lot of power in that proximity. We're all rooting for each other. But when you're in a group of people that are very low level, constantly getting high and leeching off each other, you're going to be constantly getting high and leeching off people. Like, you are what's that quote? Like, the 5 people you hang around, you are the 5th person or whatever. Like, guys, there's power in proximity, meaning the people that you surround yourself with their habits are gonna rub off on you. Believe it or not, when I first quit, I don't want to get into this again, but when I first quit, I quit for 170 days, and I was at a different house where everybody was smoking pot inside the house, drinking, smoking cigarettes, growing weed inside the house. People would knock on my door, hey, you want to hit this joint? And I was able to quit 170 days in that environment. So you can grow a flower in concrete. It's just way fucking harder, way harder. And then my friend shot himself at that place, and I relapsed. And then I moved out, and now I'm here at my new place, and now it's 33 days sober. And it's a lot more easier in an environment that I can control all the variables. So be grateful if you are in an environment where you can control the variables, like it's going to be easier to stay consistent with your sobriety. Last things I kind of want to talk about here, guys, is you don't want to hate yourself. You don't want to judge yourself. Like if you fuck up a few times in your sobriety, it's not a big deal. There's two types of way to talk to yourself, and the way to coach yourself is through compression, which is like tough love, like, shaming yourself, and which sometimes works, but it doesn't work for the long term. The other way to coach yourself is through compassion. Like, you're doing this because you love yourself. You're doing this because you're so grateful for this one body and this one opportunity to be in the human experience that you want to make the most out of it. And you know that weed is like, it's holding you back. So the reason why you're doing this is because you love yourself, not because you hate yourself. Okay, we're almost done here. I appreciate anybody who's been watching the video this long. I appreciate you guys. Guys, go like this, comment, subscribe, share this video. But I wanted to quickly talk about alignment. And I'm going to make a whole dedicated video on alignment eventually on my YouTube channel because it's very powerful. Guys, if you're trying to quit, you need to be in alignment. This is what people teach, like manifestation and stuff. Alignment is your thoughts, actions, and energy. So you're taking the actions of not actually throwing away the pot and like not smoking, and you're taking those, and you're cleaning up your environment. You're taking the correct actions to be sober. But then what about your thoughts? Are you having self-talk where it's like giving you anxiety? Or if you're having self-talk like, I'm a fucking badass, I'm proud of myself, I can do this shit, the test is coming, and I'm gonna have the urge to want to smoke, and I'm gonna pass this fucking test, and I'm gonna become proud of myself, and I'm gonna get stronger from that test. Or your thoughts like, oh fuck, this is hard, I want to smoke, So your thoughts and actions, you need to figure out the thoughts and actions first. And then the energy. The energy is like, when you're coming into your day, is it like, are you at a low level and fuck, guys, you get this one chance at life. Every time you wake up is a massive fucking opportunity because a lot of people didn't get the chance to wake up. So I'm trying to articulate this in a simple way, guys, but your thoughts, you need to have positive self-talk around being sober. You need to have positive actions around being sober. And your energy also needs to be positive and conducive, and they all need to be working together for the same desired outcome, which is keeping you sober. Last few things I'm going to say here. I hope you got value from this video. You can break the cycle because I am fucking proof. I was worse than you. Like, anybody in the comments who thinks they was worse than me, I want to hear your story. I'm not saying I'm the worst, but I was pretty fucking bad. Like, I never thought that weed wasn't going to be a part of my life. It was such a part of my life. I was so attached to it. I couldn't even comprehend how I could live without it because it was such a huge part of my life, but it's not going to be anymore. Because me being the better version of myself, me growing my business, growing my brand, helping my clients is much more important than me being high. Me being proud is more important than me being high. Guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Guys, if this hit home and you're ready to take your fitness serious, your mindset serious, your positive self-talk serious, and you want extra help quitting your bad habits, you guys can hit me up on Instagram, DM me FIT, F-I-T, and we'll have a conversation about your goals. Or you can hit the link in my YouTube bio and fill out a coaching application, or buy my cookbook. You got to start somewhere, guys. Start with positive habits. Start with your fitness journey. Start with eating better meals, talking to yourself better, treating yourself better. Start with stacking more wins throughout the day. You're not going to want to self-sabotage as much. Guys, again, I said this probably 13 trillion times. I hope you got value from this video. I appreciate you watching this long. I am a really new YouTube creator. I'm trying to grow this channel, and if you did get value from this video, it would mean the world to me if you would like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.